and today we are doing salt and pepper shrimp with the option of crab. Today, and I have my sous chef Greg here. Today I am going to be preparing, I have the 16 to 20 count shrimp and Jonah's crab, otherwise known in the South as, Calvin, you want to tell us what it's known as?
That's a rock crab.
Rock crab, but up north we call it Jonah's crab. And the reason why it's called Jonah is because, like Tish had explained earlier in our group, it's thrown back in the water. The legs regenerate themselves and they will grow once they fall off, and they throw them back in, and the claws, excuse me. They throw them back in, and they can keep growing claws and keep growing claws. So they are harder shelled than like the Dungeness crab or the soft shell crab. When you get them at the store, they're usually scored. They have a sweeter taste. I really do prefer Dungeness crab because I am from the Northwest and they're so plentiful up there. But because of the coronavirus epidemic and trying not to go to the stores, I used what I had in the freezer. And luckily, I had a bag of the Jonah, AKA rock crab, in my freezer. So that's what we're using today.
And I'm from the Northwest, and I didn't know either, Calvin.
I didn't either.
I think. Oh, Steve, I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't discriminate like that, right?
We come from a Creole background, so we could.
That's how we know.
Seafood. So
us in the Northwest, we see them black on the crab. We like, we don't want those.
Don't want black on the crab. And another thing you want to do when you prepare your crab, and a lot of people don't do it. Sorry, that's my rice cooker. Is when you get your crab, you want to make sure, and I'll show you with the knife. I take a knife, and this one's already clean, but you want to scrape the hair off the pan, because there's sand in there and debris. And a lot of people, if you go, sometimes you go have gumbo somewhere, and there'll be that fuzz on there. That's hair, and it's there's a lot of times a collection of sand in there. So mine are really clean. I scrape, and rinse mine off really well. So what you want to do to prepare your crab is clean your shells. If you have them, if you're using them, you can just do salt and pepper shrimp, but I like to add the element of crab, and pat them dry. So I've already prepared these, cleaned them, scraped them, and Craig helped me scrape them, thank you.
You're welcome.
And patted them dry. And then with salt and pepper shrimp, instead of taking the shell off of your shrimp, you just want to score the back, or you can buy them already scored and deveined. So you want the shrimp deveined, the shell on, because you want the shell gives you that crispy, crunchy taste. And actually, I had this lady that used to do my nail tech. If your nails ever get brittle or your hair starts kind of breaking off, sounds crazy, but if you eat the tails of shrimp, just a couple of them, I don't know what it is in the tail or what makes up the shell of the shrimp. What is it? You can go ahead. Anyway, but it does help. I notice my nails do get stronger after I do it. I don't know.
Strong? Temporary strong?
No, they really, I can tell the difference in them. So I want to say thank you, Kathy, that was around the corner from my house on Garfield. They used to do my nails. She said, eat a couple of those. When you eat shrimp, eat a couple of the tails, and it really does work. So we've already cleaned these, as you can tell, and they're scored, cleaned, and the shell is still on. We have patted them dry. So what we are going to do, I'm actually going to pat them a little more because we put them back in the fridge. So they've got a little condensation. We're going to get our oil ready. You're going to put oil just enough to cover the bottom of your pan, and turn your meat to medium high. And while that's getting warm, we are going to, Calvin, you have a question?
I do have a question, and it is a serious question when it comes to shrimp. I know you said the count number. Is that tiger shrimp or that Gulf shrimp?
This is Gulf. And the reason why I use Gulf, if you look at the tiger shrimp, has an odd taste to me, but if you get the Gulf shrimp or the white shrimp, it's a cleaner flavor, cleaner taste, along with if you look, I've seen too many videos now with the shrimps that are farm raised and made grown in Indonesia, and they feed them a lot of stuff to me that I wouldn't want in my system. So
Understood.
I try to get the ones that are, if you can't get the Gulf, get the U.S. If you have to get farm raised, get U.S. farm raised shrimp. But I tend to stay away from the Indonesia. And when I'm frying, doing the light, and we're just doing a light pan fry, I stay away from the Argentina shrimp, the pink ones you'll see at the store. I think Tom Thumb gets them a lot now, and Albertsons. They're really, really soft and hard to fry because they tend to crumble, if you will. So those are good if you want to do a quick, fast saute, a quick, fast stir fry. But when you're put in high heat, really high, fast, hot heat, they tend to be mushy tasting.
Thank you very much. That's what I need to know.
Some of those
Question.
shrimp that are from other countries, when you cook them, they get really, really tough and chewy. Shrimp should be really almost melt in your mouth, and some of those just aren't.
Tree, what kind of oil are you using and how much?
I am using vegetable oil, and I just use enough to, depending on the size of your pan, just enough to cover the bottom of your pan. Can you see that in there?
Okay.
You don't want to deep fry it. We're just going to flash fry the shrimp. And you know, last time someone had a question about the 16 to 20. Some people don't know what the 16 to 20 count means. That means you get about 16 to 20 shrimp per pound. That's what that means. So the first we're going to do is, it's kind of hard to see that, but we have, see that, cornstarch. And Craig is going to toss our shrimp in the cornstarch.
All of them?
Mm-hmm. About 6 or 7 of them for me. Make sure you get this one. And depending on the size of your pan, you probably want to put just enough to cover the bottom, but not too many, because the more you put in the pan, you lose the temperature in the pan, and you want your pan to stay hot. So he has coated our shrimp, lightly coated. And I'll bring the camera over so you all can see.
And you did say you had it on high?
Medium high.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna, thank you. We're just gonna cook those lightly on both sides. It doesn't take long to cook shrimp, so now I should be able to turn those over. While the second side is cooking, I have a plate prepared. Plate prepared to put the shrimp on once they're done cooking. And I usually use paper towels, but I'm going to use tray liners because the stores are so short with paper towels. I'm trying to conserve. So I'm hoping this will catch enough of the oil, because that's what we want to do with the paper towels, is catch the oil for the oil to drain off the shrimp once they're done.
How do you know when the shrimp are done?
How do you know the shrimp are done? Good question. You can look in the pan. When shrimp
Can everybody see that?
Yep.
are done, they start to turn pink and the tails will curl a little more. So.
So you didn't have any seasoning on the shrimp?
No seasoning at this point. So our shrimp are done. I'm gonna take them out the pan with the strainer. Gonna get some more going. So while that first side is cooking, I am now going to season the first batch of shrimp that we took out the pan. A little bit of the sea salt, kosher salt, and fresh ground black pepper.
Since I'm not, I will be sharing with maybe one or two people, and I don't really drink wine. What wine would you pair with this?
A white wine. Usually white wine goes with seafood, but I have to say I am a red fiend. So you weren't on last week's class, but last week I suggested Malbec, and I suggest Malbec again. I will always go to Malbec. That is my go-to wine. But a Pinot would really be good with this, honestly.
And for the Southern folks, what cognac would you go with it?
I'm not a cognac drinker, so I couldn't even tell you. Hennessy is the go-to, though, isn't it?
All right.
That's what we need, Cousin Calvin.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I'm a dog drinker, so that'll work for me.
Always the go-to.
Thank you. Y'all let me know if I ask too many questions.
Never too many questions.
You asked
Coming
good
up, question,
questions.
I'm sorry.
That answered my question.
No, he had asked if he was asking too many questions. We told him never too many questions.
The more questions, the better. While those are finished and frying on the other side, I'm just prepping my next batch. And I'll be doing quite a few shrimp because I'm doing 2 pounds. So it probably won't take you all as long. I'm doing 2 pounds because we have more people here. And we are shrimp lovers.
Not all of us.
You learning.
No.
No, some people suffer with something known as gout, so he has to limit his.
Okay, so here my next question is, what is a great alternative
To the shrimp?
to shrimp?
Actually, chicken. I've done it with chicken wingettes. And all you do is do the same thing. You want to put more oil in your pan. Of course, you're basically deep frying the chicken. No seasoning on it initially, as much as we as Black folks want to do that seasoning first. No seasoning initially. And you want to deep fry them, toss them in the cornstarch just like we did the shrimp, and season it when it comes out. And you want to make sure as soon as it comes out, you season it so that the batter on the outside can capture the seasoning.
Okay.
And what is that ingredient right there you're doing again?
This again is fresh ground black pepper and of course sea salt.
Okay.
And if you don't prefer sea salt, you can use kosher salt if you're a kosher eater. Now you can tell our pan is getting kind of low. I want all that jus in there, so I'm not going to wash it. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm just going to add a little more oil. And there's a reason I call it the jus. There's a reason for that, and you'll see in the end. As long as it now, if it starts getting to the point where it's like getting too brown and has like a burnt taste, you don't want that. So I would wipe it out and Start fresh.
And what are you doing with the paper towel right there?
Again, because shrimp is so full of water naturally, I'm having to pat the shrimp off again, even though we had already patted off and they were dry initially. But remember I said I put them in the fridge, so the condensation from being in the fridge got them a little moist. So I'm just wiping them off before I dredge them.
I kind of already know what my answer is for this question I'm going to ask, but is that a cast iron skillet?
That is not a cast iron skillet. Actually, it's a Teflon. And be careful if you go get these, because there's like this is like, I'm gonna call this the Purpolator Teflon, but there's also the ones that have the rubber handles that don't have as good of metal, if you will, iron. And they tend to scratch up faster. And you cannot put them in the oven. These you can put from in the oven because they have the metal handle as well. And again, you're just getting your shrimp golden brown on one side and flipping.
Craig, you supposed to be playing some Frankie Beverly in the background, man. What's going on?
We learned on the fly. I was listening to him earlier.
All right.
And I did not acknowledge him, but we have another caterer who has joined us today, Dennis Harris.
Say hi.
Hey, Mr. Harris.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, Neutral?
Neutral is doing good. Hey, I couldn't kick it with y'all last night. I smoked too much weed.
Hey!
I'm just
It's
gonna be
legal in
honest.
Oregon. It's legal.
I'm still recording.
I thank you, Dennis.
Huh? Man, y'all, I was so high yesterday.
Dennis, I'm gonna mute him. Thank you, Angie. Back to our regular scheduled program.
That might be an edit.
It's legal in Oregon.
It'll be legal here in Texas soon.
Hey.
Come on, Craig. Tell us a story, man. Keep it going.
What you want to hear about last night?
No, let's not talk about last night. I wasn't there.
We might want to hear last night.
So for those who made the shrimp creole last week, how did it turn out? The pictures look delicious.
Mine was amazing. I'm not a big tomato fan, so I went very light, like did a half a can of paste and a full can of diced tomatoes. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't real chunky red tomatoey. It was delicious.
Isha?
I don't think she heard you.
Hers is on mute. She nodded her head. And Keisha, you did yours too.
Yeah, mine, I was surprised it turned out well. I think I missed a couple of steps, but it was still good. And I gave some to Kamari and she said it was good too, so.
Good.
Yep.
Angie, did you get a chance to make it or not yet?
I did. So Dennis can say something
She
about
did, and she keeps elbow me about. Tell him it was good. It was good.
That's it. Awesome. Calvin, did you get that recipe?
I did. I pulled it while I was at work. So I'll be trying all this in the future, you know.
Angie, did you take pictures?
Oh, I need to send it to you. I just took a picture in a bowl, but I'll send it to you.
Okay. Calvin, if you make it, send us a picture.
Yeah, okay. I said I'm gonna make it, so I didn't say Eric was gonna make it. If I make it, I gotta wait till it come out right. Then I send y'all some pictures.
Okay.
Angie, you made it?
I did. Dennis ate it.
Good Lord.
Twice.
Twice.
Sabrina is helping me. I'm learning how to cook better.
Oh, check this out. This was the most, I love this. My wife made me potato salad like my mom could make it.
Did she put raisins in it?
No.
His mom's name is not Karen. His mom's name is Gloria.
You put raisins in it?
Who the hell put raisins in some damn potato salad?
Karen, but we're not going to talk about Karen today.
Hey, Tish,
Yeah.
that's y'all's family.
Listen.
I definitely not related to Karen. Raisins? Are you nuts?
It's a running joke, Dennis. It's not a real thing.
Let me get them started.
I didn't.
But I bet it tastes good though. Raisins and potato salad? I would think it does. I can see it.
I can too.
I can't see it.
I
I've
can't do
heard
that.
of raisins and carrot salad.
That's a
But
different,
then I like raisins.
that's a different salad.
I can see
This
That's
is my
perfect.
last batch of shrimp going in here. Thank God. That takes a little while because I did 2 pounds. You see how the longer you cook them in that same dredge, if you will, it gets the crispier, crunchier coating, and it's a little more golden brown. You guys see that?
Yep. Looks delicious.
Yep.
Now, another question for the non-cookers. I don't think I ever use cornstarch. I might use some cornmeal, but I don't know about no cornstarch. It has I don't know what the flavor is like.
No flavor.
Oh, gotcha.
The best way I can describe it as far as texture, it's like a sifted flour, if you will. It's a thickening agent. So like if you're ever making gravy and your gravy's not thick enough, you can take a little cornstarch and water, mix it up and make a little paste. You can also use it if you're making your own sweet and sour sauce.
Okay.
And you want a little thicker consistency. Sweet and sour sauce goes really good with this too. If you want to make it, it's just ketchup, pineapple juice, a little vinegar. I put chunks of pineapple in there. Sometimes I'll put a few bell peppers, few onions. And did I say ketchup already?
You didn't say sugar.
Ketchup and sugar, yes. And then if you want to thicken it up, add a little cornstarch and water, and it's a really good thickening agent.
Calvin, most of the Asian restaurants, they don't fry with flour. Their sweet and sour chicken, all their breading is generally cornstarch for your Asian dishes.
Cornstarch actually gives you a crispier finish. And see, this is our shrimp. We're not done with the whole dish, but that's for our shrimp. We're going to the light. How about that? Can y'all see how golden brown and crispy that looks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we're going to come back over here to our prep table. Now we have to deal with our crab. So we've already cleaned our crab, and I think I told you all that it's scored. Can you see that line there?
Yep.
So when you get the Jonah crab, what do you call it, Calvin?
The rock crab. So I was going to ask you what scoring is, but I see what you mean now.
Yeah, they're already scored, so it makes it a little bit easier to break open when you're eating them. These you can't do, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm tough.
They're hard.
Hard.
No,
I
they're
will
real
take
hard.
that crab and give it out with my teeth. Can't do that with these. So you want to do just like you did the crab, but we're gonna lightly just sprinkle it on the crab with the shrimp, excuse me. But we're just gonna take the cornstarch and sprinkle it on the crab.
Can everybody see that?
Yep. Perfect.
Just kind of rub it on there. And all we're going to do with this, because it's already cooked, you can tell it's cooked because the color has changed. You're just going to put it in the pan and we're going to lightly toss it in that dredging and a little bit of the oil.
You said those were cooked already, pre-cooked. Did you boil them?
They are, you buy them, they're already pre-boiled.
All crab like this already pre-boiled?
Yes, most of the time, unless you get them live.
Okay.
I do prefer the live. You can go to a lot of the Asian markets and get live crab. Since I moved down to Texas, I haven't found a market yet back home. We used to go on, I know, Dennis.
ABC.
We used to go to ABC Seafood and get the live crab. I have not found that here. Calvin, I think you asked earlier about blue shell crab. Yes, you could use blue shell crab in this.
Okay.
The difference between, of course, you know, this is meatier than blue shell crab is. The difference is you can put blue shell crab in your teeth and get busy. This also gives for a prettier presentation to me. With the crab, all that dredge on the sides and the oil. And because of the hard shell, I did turn my heat up to completely to high. So keep moving your crab around. And all we're doing is picking up all that flavor that's at the bottom of the pan while warming our crab up. Now, the difference between the shrimp and the crab, while the crab is in the pan cooking, I do season it at that time.
We're sticking just with the salt and pepper, right?
Yep.
Now, how much oil should you have in your pan at this point?
At this point, you're just using the oil that was already in there. You really don't need oil with the crab. You needed the oil for the shrimp because we were trying to crisp the shell up.
And they were raw too, right? Crab's already cooked.
Correct. Crab's already cooked, so basically we're just warming it up and getting that at the bottom of that pan, getting the flavor on the outside so you can suck the shell if you want to. I know I used to do a lot of Cajun cooking, but I decided to do this dish because it's a fast dish. And I know a lot of mothers right now, you're working from home and you're a substitute teacher. So I was trying to find something that was fast, but tasty. So this is a pretty quick dish. It's taken me a little longer because I did 2 pounds of shrimp, like I said before, instead of the 1 pound. And this is really the part that takes the longest, is doing the crab thing. The crab, because once that's done, your dish is done. I am going to put a little more oil in here because it's getting too brown.
Oh, I don't want to start a fight, but are you Cajun cooking or are you Creole cooking?
Oh boy.
Right now, I'm not doing either. Now, that was a discussion that was had on Facebook. Is it Cajun or Creole? I will tell you the difference, even though people say there is not a difference, there is a difference. Cajuns didn't have the money that the Creoles did. So Cajuns didn't do a lot of shrimp with their dishes. And Creoles use a lot of richer tomato-based dishes, i.e. there is a difference between Cajun and Creole style cooking. It comes down to you got the money or not.
Cree, is Craig putting his finger over the microphone on your phone?
You might have been. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, don't be getting on the producer.
Listen, free help is free, but we need to be able to hear the content.
So while that's finishing up, you want to keep moving your pan, because you don't want that dredging to get too dark.
Producer Craig. there was a comment on Facebook about inviting people that are non-relatives. Have we came up to a decision on that yet?
For bingo?
To the shows as well.
Oh, you can. Yeah. Yeah. Not everybody on here is a relative.
Okay.
Yeah. So we removed all of our crap. You see the golden brown coating it has? Can you guys see that all?
That looks delicious.
You see why I have gout?
I see why. I already know, Craig.
So your pan will probably look something like this. And you want that to stay in there. What we are gonna do now, you're gonna take your garlic, your chopped garlic and ginger. And I like a lot of ginger, and I didn't put it on the ingredient list, but you can also use ginger powder along in accompaniment with this to give you more of a robust ginger flavor. So you're gonna put your ginger and garlic in the pan. Ginger and garlic cook really, really fast. So what I'm just doing is I'm getting the dredging that's at the bottom of the pan, kind of like you would if you were making gravy. You all see that pretty well?
Yes.
Step away just a sec. Okay. Now you're gonna add, and I need to apologize. I usually use dried chili peppers with this, but I tried to stick with what I had here because I'm trying to limit my visits to the store. So I did have jalapenos. So I'm gonna add my jalapenos in now. And since I don't have the serrano or dried chili peppers.
With seeds or without?
I'm sorry?
With seeds or without?
With the seeds. The seeds give that spice. You want a little spice. I'm going to later add some red pepper flakes to substitute for the fact that I don't have the dried chili peppers.
How many, Trina, with that quantity of jalapenos, how many dried chilies would you add?
Now I'm going to be honest. I like spicy, but I also like it for the color and for the flavor. So you can put as many as you want in there. For a one batch worth, I usually put about 8 because I like the color, and you can take it out just like you go to P.F. Chang's and you get the red peppers and your kung pao chicken. You don't necessarily eat it, but it does give the food a good flavor while it's cooking.
Do you leave them whole or do you slice them?
Leave them whole, and it gives a good flavor. Now I need a little more oil in here, so I'm going to add just a smidge, maybe a half a teaspoon of oil.
What temperature are you cooking on right now?
I'm still on high.
You're still on high.
But I'm going to lower down to medium high in just a moment. You should be able to get all your dredging off your sides at this point with your garlic, your ginger, and your jalapenos. And warning, sometimes when you cook jalapenos, the steam from the pan can have a little, for lack of a better term, it can become mace. So be careful not to look over your pan or get too close to your pan when you are sauteing the jalapenos. So now that our garlic is golden brown, you'll see that, and the ginger's gotten brown, you're gonna add your shrimp and your crab in there. I always add my shrimp first. You want to toss that in there with all the ginger, the garlic, the jalapenos. Add our crab back in there. The last thing you want to do is toss your sliced green onions. You want to slice them about 2 inches. 2-inch pieces. You're just gonna toss all that together, and everything, all the flavors are gonna marry one another. And I just let my green onions wither just a little. Because I didn't have the dried chili peppers, I'm gonna add cayenne. And I didn't add this on the list because everybody doesn't use it, but I'm a believer. It's a little accent because it brings out flavor.
So what you're saying is I can add some slap your mama rather than accent.
There you go, Captain.
You can do what?
I can add a little slap your mama instead.
You can. You can. But believe me, you may not even want to. If you can, I wish we had smell-o-vision for lack of a better term. It smells really garlicky, really, really good flavor. Another thing I like to do towards the end.
What is that right there?
Is add a little garlic powder, just because not everybody's a garlic person, but I'm a garlic person. So I add a little garlic powder. And once you do that, the seasonings kind of start caramelizing on the shrimp and on the crab and the vegetables. And like I said, they kind of marry one another and marinate together. Questions so far?
It looks good.
No, it looks amazing.
So Aisha, the only one cooking right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta watch, and I can do it later, Angie.
Me too.
Is that garnish?
I didn't have everything anyway, so.
Oh, no, that's not garnish.
And then you just serve it. I'm just serving it with white rice. I have my rice cooking in my rice cooker while we're preparing this. And dinner is served.
Yummy.
Good job.
That looks great.
That looks good.
So we have our salt and pepper shrimp and crab and our white rice. And what we'll probably be having is I make a garlic spicy green bean to go on the side, just because we're a vegetable family, and salad with ginger dressing. Now, Craig doesn't like me to call it keto, but we are keto lifestyle.
Sure, keto lifestyle.
Okay, we're keto lifestyle, not keto diet. So cornstarch is not really a good thing for keto, but the good thing is we only put it on, if you remember, on the shell, so you can take the meat out and then you won't have the keto issue. You can also use coconut oil or olive oil, and then your carb count is down also. I won't be enjoying the rice. But this is a pretty hearty meal. It's really full of flavor, and it goes pretty far because you have the crab. Well, I have the crab, but the shrimp and the peppers on top of the rice, when you're serving a family, it goes really far. And just put a side with it and you're good to go. Any questions?
I'm low-key kind of jealous. I couldn't get any Jonas crab, so I'm gonna have to do my shrimp and poke pick in a minute.
You know, when this is all over, I'm gonna send you some.
I'm gonna just come get it.
I have a website. Yes, come and get it. There is a website, and I will find it for you all. They do ship Jonas crab and blue shell crab, so I can get that to you all because I had ordered.
So I know you said it. The place you're looking for is, of course, in the great city of Grand Prairie. We do have an Asian market.
Do you really?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
You know, DeSoto, we don't have much here. So.
Well, yeah. Well,
I'll tell you what. I will check out the Asian market, pick up some stuff, bring it to house, and you can cook us dinner.
Hey, sounds like a plan to me.
yeah. Okay.
I want to thank my sous chef. You did a good job. Good job. Any other questions?
Thank you, Fords.
Thank you.
All for tuning in.
Aisha, how did it turn out?
It's really good. You know, I didn't get the shrimp lesson before purchase, so I had those pink shrimp that you said don't get. But it looks really good. I don't know if you guys can see.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
Yeah, it looks hella good. And so I'm gonna have mine because I don't do rice. So I had this with the shrimp Creole last week and it was delicious. It was a big hit. But I'm gonna have this.
What is it? Oh,
It's
yeah.
quinoa pilaf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, quinoa pilaf, and it was really good. So I'm gonna have this with that.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
And my mouth is watering.
If you guys want to do it again, let me know. Hit me up. Send me some recipes you'd like to do or any ideas you want me to do, and we will work those out for you. Thank you. It's been real.
Thank you.
And be safe.
Peace.
Okay.